Welcome to today's press meeting, where we have invited you all in light of last day's media reporting. We will answer all your questions here today. We will also explain and provide some facts in this quite complicated matter. The meeting will be conducted in the following way. We will make a short introduction. Then we will take questions here in plenum. The participants participating online can write their questions, and the questions will be forwarded to management by the moderator. Due to extensive media interest, we have unfortunately no possibility to provide one-on-one interviews today. We have many nationalities here as well, so we please ask you to ask your questions in English if possible. Here today with me, I have CEO Casper von Koskull. We have Snorre Storseth, he's head of wealth management, and we have Erik Ekman, head of wholesale. Now I leave the word over to Casper.
Thank you very much. I just want to emphasize here when we start that we want to be very open and transparent in this matter. And we will try to answer all your questions. I just want to highlight, of course, questions that relate to specific customers we cannot do, but we will try to be as open, transparent, and answer all your questions that you may have. I also want to emphasize to you that I personally, that the whole bank, we take this situation extremely seriously. We take allegations like this extremely seriously, and hence we will also deal and handle it with that seriousness also going forward. What I will do now is just repeat what I have said before. I have said, and I say it now again, we do not accept that the bank is used as a platform for tax evasion. We cannot be a means for tax hiding or tax evasion for any of our clients. I think we also, all of us, recognize that the problem of money being hidden, I think is not good for our society, it's not good for anybody. Money is hidden, and hence we need to take our responsibility, and we do take our responsibility, that we are not used as a means to hide money. I think it's also good to recognize that regulation and norms related to these issues are changing, and I think that's good. I think it is good that the norms and allowing these things are changing, and we are changing. We have changed our procedures, we have changed our routines to make sure that this would not happen. Again, let me repeat what I've said. I've said that before. In 2009, we did change our policies and procedures related to this. In 2009, we started requiring from all new customers that we report and can report all information to tax authorities. And of course, in the preceding years, we've done that with all clients. So we do report those holdings that we are holding for our clients. As of actually 1st of January 2016, we are now starting to do it in an automatic way. So policies and procedures have been changed. Let me also confirm, and I've said that before, that offshore structures can, and they are actually used in certain situations, usually complex international businesses, and also in cases of security reasons. So it's not that you do not, or we do not have offshore structures for some of our clients, but they are in a very, very small minority. We have clear rules, procedures, policies in place when setting up these types of structures for our clients. We need to understand the reason for this, we need to understand who's involved, the nature, and everything we do needs to follow laws, rules, and the policies we have in place. We should all recognize that these structures are a reality in international business. So those are the things. I have said those before, and I just want to repeat them now again. There has been, I think, some confusion about various structures, and I think I'll give the word to Snorre first to explain kind of the Luxembourg angle of it, and then Erik on kind of the Russian angle of it, so that some of these structures that we talk about, that you don't mix them. As Emma said, this is a complex area, but as I said, there's also something which is reality. It is our role to actually make sure that if these are in place, that then rules, laws, regulation, and our policies are followed. That is our role. So with that, actually, I give the word to Snorre as an introduction, then Erik, and then maybe I conclude, and then we take all the questions.
Thank you, Kasper. And as Kasper said, since 2009, new procedures and initiatives were implemented to ensure that our bank is not used for tax evasion. As a consequence of this, also a significant number of customers left the bank. Since 1st of January 2016, we have this common reporting standard, the CRS, that actually says that we should do this automatic transfer of information. And that was also mentioned by Kasper. And I can say that we, of course, welcome this development, because we have been working on this ever since 2009 in this fashion. And it's also worth knowing that about 100,000 people move abroad from the Nordics every year. And different tax systems in different countries means that our international clients need help in ensuring that they pay their taxes, and that they pay the taxes in the way they should do in the new country of residence. And for a few clients, a few international clients with international wealth, a fully tax transparent offshore solution can be relevant. We have strong comfort that all the Nordic residents are paying the taxes they should in the Nordic countries. What has then been our role in these Panama structures that you have seen both in the media, in TV, and also in the newspapers? First of all, it's worth knowing that the request for setting up an offshore company is always received from the client or from the tax or legal advisor of the client. We are not recommending that you set up an offshore company. And historically, we have, on instructions from our clients, assisted our clients in opening accounts, renewing power of attorneys, issuing or deleting shares, or so on. So we have been assisting with some administrative issues. We have not bought any companies from Mossack Fonseca or any of the other providers. We have not charged customers for this help. We have not received any commissions from Mossack Fonseca or any of these companies. So we are doing this just to assist our clients. And we have, as you have heard, we have come to the conclusion that we will not continue to do this assistance going forward. And furthermore, we will review, and in the review, we will look into how we can unwind the Mossack Fonseca structures. And also all the other Luxembourg structures will be in the review. We are also investigating whether we could see any type of proactive evidence that we have actually tried to recommend customers to set up these type of structures, and we haven't seen any such evidence. It has also been mentioned in the media that we have requested backdating, and we are doing a deep and thorough internal investigation on this. And of course, if it's verified, then we will take action and it will have consequences. And then it has also been an issue about a dead director. We saw that in the TV show yesterday. And that we can say, having the proper directors in place is purely an issue for the company as such. So it's something that the administrator, in this case Mossack Fonseca, should take care of. What we have done is that we had 3 times said that they hadn't really done their job properly. And that is also one of the reasons why we don't want to be associated with Mossack Fonseca going forward. Okay. I would also like to add that we do as much as we can to ensure that our clients pay their taxes. And this includes things like that we do not facilitate setup of structures appearing to lack the proper business rationale. We do not offer aggressive tax planning. We do request legal and tax opinions and even advance rulings if there's any doubt before accepting a new customer. We have very strict AML and Know Your Customer procedures in Luxembourg. We produce global tax reports where we make it easy for the customers to do right and then to actually report the right taxes. And on top of that, we ask the customers for self-certification that they are actually paying their taxes. So we do a lot in order to make sure that not only we will exchange the information on the customers where we can exchange the information, but really to have a high level of comfort that they are actually paying the taxes. But in the end, and at the end of the day, it's always the customer's responsibility to pay their own taxes. Eric.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to clarify some things when it comes to the Russian real estate business that we do. Number one, we do have a business strategy of focusing on commercial real estate in the Moscow area. And when it comes to these real estate structures, which usually goes out of Russia and into Cyprus, this is one of the more common ways of doing it or setting it up. And when you have these type of real estate financing structures, there are variations of it, but more or less the same type of setup you will find in almost any country, including Sweden. So one part of what it is we do is to check out this real estate, or you could say the actual financing of the real estate. Then the next level we go to is that we need to identify the ultimate beneficial owners. And if we can't do it, then we can't do business. If we can identify the ultimate beneficial owners, then we have a process on how to check that. Or I would even go to say that we have a process on how we try to obtain relevant information. One of the steps we do in that process is to check when it comes to private individuals with an international database supplied by Dow Jones. If we get flags for whatever reason in that database, then that will start a more thorough investigation, which then brings us to a point where we have an information set which we will make a judgment call on. Then that can of course change. There can be information that is not captured by our process that comes to our attention. Then we do a new assessment. Yeah. I think that's it.
We take questions on that. But maybe before we take some questions, let me once more repeat. We can never accept that we are used for tax evasion as a bank. That is very much rule number one. We have also, and I have said that our connection and dealings with this Mossack Fonseca will stop, or has stopped and will stop. And that is really in light of what has come out. We cannot operate in something that is, I call the gray zone. And if we actually associate it with somebody that is operating in the gray zone, that we cannot accept, and hence that's why we've taken the decision. I think in the last 2 weeks, enough information has come up that that we feel that it is the right thing to do. Then the second thing I have said already before, but I say it again, to ensure that we actually have, I've said that we have policies, procedures, all in place to make sure that we are not used for tax avoidance. In order to now ensure that that is really the case, we have started, and actually started already, a review of our private banking operations to make sure that policies are followed, but not only policies, external tax rules are followed, also that any anti-money laundering regulation is followed, and so on, to make absolutely sure that this is the case. We will start that review in Luxembourg, but it will not only stop at Luxembourg, we will actually do all the other countries as well in the second step. And in the third step, we will also cover any other potential offshore structure that may be in other parts of the bank. So we really do that in kind of 3 steps. And we actually are looking at all and everything, policies, tax rules, anti-money laundering rules, etc. And as I said, we take this extremely seriously. So if we find something that is not living up to any of these policies, tax rules, be it or any other regulation, we will take action. And we will, of course, in those cases, report that also to the authorities. So I think we have a procedure in place, and I think we will follow that. And with that, I would probably open up for questions.